Hi, my name is Eric Taylor, and today I'll be discussing the 2011 film Drive, directed by Nicholas Winding Refn. Drive's reception upon its release was very interesting. While it was widely praised by most critics, there was a strong negative reaction to the film by average moviegoers because the marketing had made it seem like an edge-of-your-seat action movie in the vein of The Fast and the Furious. What Drive really is a deliberately paced character study, or even a twisted modern fairy tale told primarily through visual imagery and non-diegetic music rather than dialogue. In this commentary, I will be talking about how the film's formal elements of color, symbolism, and soundtrack are used to illustrate its major themes of isolation and going against fate. Let's begin with one of Drive's first scenes. This scene opens up with a sprawling aerial shot of Los Angeles at night as the song Night Call by Kavinsky starts playing. I'm sorry that you can't hear it right now, but if you want to look up the song, I think it would help. The song's steady synthesizer beat coupled with the bright pink opening credits gives the film a retro feeling as if it was made in the early 80s. The lead vocals sound heavily processed and robotic, which complements the driver's emotional state, as he has trouble making human connections and is very deliberate and organized as a getaway driver. This can be seen in the preceding scene when he plans his escape from the police exactly by blending into a crowd of basketball fans as soon as the game gets out. The driver's face is like a blank canvas as the lights from traffic lights shine through and completely engulf his face. I believe the colors of the traffic light are symbolic in Drive, with our protagonist often bathed in yellow light to symbolize him being caught between the life he wants with his neighbor Irene and her son, which is represented by green, and the life he has now as a getaway driver associated with criminals, which is represented by red. His yellow scorpion jacket takes up a large part of the frame, indicating its importance. I'll go into the symbolism of the scorpion later on in the commentary. Another aerial shot makes the driver's car look tiny against the skyscrapers, suggesting his feeling of isolation in the world that he lives in. Now let's move on to when he takes Irene and her son for a drive and begins entering her world. It's immediately apparent that the light and colors in this scene are brighter, which gives it a more optimistic tone than the previous one. The song A Real Hero by Electric Youth fades in as the film cuts to a gorgeous tracking shot of a canal as if we were flying over it. The music has a similar synthetic beat as Night Call, continuing throughout it, but the melody and vocals are uplifting and ethereal. The lyrics "a real human being" and "a real hero" are also very important to understanding the themes of the film. The driver feels like he is forming a genuine connection to Irene and sees her as a way out of his life of crime. He wants to be a real hero to her by being there for her and her son, and which would give purpose to his life. The scene continues with the three of them playing by a pond surrounded by trees. The green color and vitality of the plants makes the driver feel like a human being rather than a cold robot as he was before as a getaway driver. And you can see he actually smiles in this scene. This fades into the next shot of the driver carrying a sleeping Benicio down the apartment hallway, indicating the passage of time. Let's continue on to another short scene that illustrates the theme of fate in the film. In this scene, the driver and Benicio are watching TV when the driver asks if the shark on the show that he's watching is the bad guy, to which Benicio responds, "Yeah, just look at him." This exchange could be easily missed if you're not paying attention, but it's actually really important, along with the symbolism of the scorpion, to encapsulate the film's major theme of nature and fate. Later on in the film, the parable of the scorpion and the frog is mentioned, which is about a scorpion wanting to cross a stream, to which he asks a frog if he could help him, and the frog says, "No, you're just going to sting me, and I'll die." But then the scorpion says, "Well, if I do that, then we'll both drown." So then the frog agrees, and nevertheless, halfway across the stream, the scorpion stings him. And the frog asks, "Why'd you do that?" Well, the scorpion says, "It was in my nature." So the driver wears a scorpion jacket on his jacket because no matter how hard he tries to make a new life, he can't escape his nature. And he finally realizes this in a pivotal scene at the end of the second act. The remainder of Drive's plot consists of Irene's husband Standard being released from prison and then pressured by thugs to commit a robbery in order to pay back protection money he owed while he was in prison. The thugs threaten Irene and Benicio, so the driver offers to help Standard for one last job in order to protect them. The robbery turns out to be a setup, and the crew is ambushed, leaving only the driver alive. He then proceeds to search for whoever ordered the setup, which turns out to be the very crime bosses that he was working for initially. In this scene, the driver attempts to persuade Irene to leave town with her and her son so that they can be safe, and even offers to go with them himself. His jacket and overall appearance are disheveled, implying that he is off balance and not the calm, collected getaway driver he was before at the beginning of the film. Irene enters the elevator, but Driver immediately senses that something is wrong. The man in the elevator is cast in shadow and shot from a low angle to make him appear sinister and threatening. And then driver sees that he has a gun on him. All diegetic sound stops, and time seems to stand still as driver pushes Irene behind him, and he kisses her. Driver realizes that he can no longer inhabit her world, and this is the last time that they can share a real connection before she sees his true nature. Time and sound return as driver protects Irene and attacks the man. The scorpion on his jacket is emphasized as he brutally and animalistically stomps the man to death. Irene stares at the driver, horrified and speechless, as the elevator serves as an impenetrable space that separates them. As the door closes, driver is cut off from his humanity forever. He is only the scorpion now. I won't spoil how the film ends, as it is chilling and immensely satisfying, although bittersweet. It's refreshing that a film as deeply layered and meticulously crafted as Drive could be produced by a major studio nowadays. I hope you've enjoyed my commentary, and I'd love to hear your own thoughts and interpretations of Drive in the comments. Thanks for watching.